at my chips. I'm getting rich. Running up digits, counting up six. My money flipping. Let's take a trip. Splash. Standing on business. Tycoon rich. I'm rich. Look at my chips. I'm getting rich. Running up digits, counting up six. My money flipping. Let's take a trip. Splash. Standing on business. Tycoon rich.
All right, great morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. A little under the weather today, but we are going to keep this train moving. All right, so we always start our sessions off by talking about what we trade. Then we talk about different ways that we can actually trade it, and how we can actually take advantage of the market. So, of course, we start off with Nasdaq. So Nasdaq is the index that caters to investors interested in innovative growth oriented companies like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and others, offering a diverse selection of industry leaders driving economic progress and technological advancements. Okay, so with NASDAQ, um, some of the companies that you guys are probably already familiar with is the Apple, Microsoft, and Amazon, but the other companies that you all might be familiar with are we have Paychex, Adobe, Ross, we have Monster Beverage, Comcast, Intel. So a lot of well-known companies that you guys know that are comprised within the index, and we trade the performance of those companies. All right, and we trade the performance and the price of the index. Okay, so what I want to talk about today, I mean, we talked about in previous weeks is the crossover and where to set your stop loss and take profit and things of that nature. But I want to kind of go into um, scalping multiple entries within a move. Okay, so um, I'm going to switch over here to my whiteboard and let's see what we have for today. Okay, so one of the tools that we use, and I didn't go into full detail last week, but this week I will. We have something called you can either use the Bollinger Band or you can use the Keltner channel. It doesn't matter. Either one is fine. So, excuse me. So with this, you'll see that there's like a wave. Okay. There's a wave that kind of basically shows the overall trajectory of the price. Okay. And so when you're looking for bullish moves, you want to look for and I'll just put this yellow line here just to kind of be in between for the Keltner or the Bollinger Band. Okay, so this is our Keltner / Bollinger Band. Okay, so and great morning to everybody that's joined. Great morning. Sorry guys, I'm a little under the weather, but we're gonna keep this train moving. So great morning. Okay. So Mary said happy new day FOMC and all kind of stuff happening this week. Let's get it, coach. That's right, Mary. Sylvester said, happy Tuesday, everyone. Hope you feel better soon, Coach Blue. Thank you, Sylvester. I appreciate that. I really do. Thank you. Okay, so what we have here is our Bollinger Band, right? And so what we want to look for when we're looking for a bullish setup. So the first thing that we're looking for is what is our 200 doing? Okay, that's our GPS. That's our trading GPS. Is the 200 EMA. Okay, so we'll use this green line right here as our 200. This is our 200. Okay. Oh, hold on one second. Got a little out of control there. Hold on. Okay, so this is our 200 right here. Okay. Now we have the direction, so we know the market is going up. So we know that the only thing we should be looking for are buys. Okay, our buys. Let's make this a little bit darker so you guys can see it. So we should be looking for buys. Okay, so with the buys, and that's because what? The market is moving up. The 200 is our GPS. Okay, it's telling us which way we should be looking. Okay, so the 200 is telling us that we should be looking up, so we know we got to look for buys. So now, where do we look for those buys? Based on the Keltner/Bollinger Band. Okay, so what we'll see is a tendency of the candles, and I'll just make these candles gray for now because I want to show a distinct color here that's going to be happening. So we'll get some candle action like this, right? We'll get some candle action like this, and then what'll happen is price will then come outside of the Keltner, okay? And that's where we look for our entry, right there, okay? So when we're looking for buys, we need to look for price to pop out at the bottom of the Keltner, okay? Those are our potential entries, and I'm going to show this on a chart for multiple charts actually, but we want it to be at the bottom of the Keltner, okay? That's very, very important. All right, so now we've identified that price came in. When I say the bottom of the Keltner, so here are the two, so this here and this here are our parameters for the Keltner, right? When price comes outside of the Keltner, at the bottom of the Keltner, that's where we look for our buys, outside of these channels here, okay? That's where we look for it. So now that we have that, we enter a buy and we take it up to our most recent pivot. So it's a short move, okay? You're not in this move forever. So you take your profit somewhere around here, okay? So as price continues to move, let me get this out the way here. So we know we got it at the bottom here for our buys, okay? We got it at the bottom for our buys. So now that we have that, let me go back a little bit. Now that we have that, we take it to the next swing. So as price continues to move up, okay, let me get my pen again. As price continues to move up, let's go back gray. And let's say price goes up here, we move here, we move here, and it's just kind of staying within these channels here, right? But then it comes right back out again. This is our entry for a Keltner. Okay, this is our entry for a Keltner. Okay, off the Keltner. So we're at the bottom of the channel. Okay, so this was an entry somewhere down here, and this was the entry somewhere down here. So essentially, these moves are very, very powerful when you miss the crossover that might have happened from the 20 and the 200, and price just decides it wants to trend. Okay, so you can still scalp in between this strong bullish movement to the upside. Okay, so now that we have a clear understanding, all right, and if you guys have questions, please feel free to ask your questions. Okay, that's extremely important. Ask your questions. Okay, I want you guys to be able to do that. So now what we're seeing here is we're going to go to a bearish setup for the calendar, and then we're going to go to the chart. Okay, so let me get this off the screen. Just bear with me for a second here. And we're going to look at some sell opportunities. Okay, so remember, buys are at the bottom, outside of the Keltner at the bottom. Okay, those are where the buys are. Now, let's see where our sells are. Okay, so with the sells, we're looking at something a little bit different. Basically, it's the opposite direction. Okay, so at the sells, we want to be at the top of the Keltner, outside of it, right? Outside of the top of the Keltner. Okay, so I'm going to draw my lines again. And this time we're going to be going to the downside. So we already have our 200. Our 200 is coming down. Remember, that's the very first thing we're looking for. What is our 200 doing? Is it moving up or down? And if it's moving down, then our directional bias is a sell. Okay, it's a sell. So let's go back here and let's see how our Keltner would have played a role in this. Okay, let's see how our Keltner would have played a role in this. And it's all going to come together once we go to the charts here. But I always like to show a visual first, because sometimes when you look at the chart, it can be confusing. It feel like it's a lot of stuff going on there, and you're like, well, what am I looking at, right? So I want to make this very, very clear. Okay. Now, here we have the Keltner channel. So this is the price action that we would see from the downside. Okay, so price is just kind of moving up here, right? We come down, price moves up here, and then it comes outside of the Keltner at the top of the Keltner. Okay, at the top of the Keltner. Okay, so you enter here, and shout out to Kelly. She showed me a trade that she had took that was actually similar to this setup, and she made some good profits off of that. So great job, Kelly. Okay, so now we had price move out at the top of the Keltner, right? So now here's your entry. Here's your entry, right? You take it down to the next swing, which is about right here. There's your take profit. Very short move. Okay, you don't need a lot. All right. So that's one entry, right? Now let's see how we can get another entry. Remember, for sales, it's only at the top of the Keltner. So price continues to move up. We go back and forth here. The prices stand within the channel, okay? And then we get another opportunity. Okay, we get another opportunity where price comes outside of the Keltner. And when it's close to the 200, oh, that's a great entry, because the 200 now serves as a strong level of resistance, and it gives you a larger move to make to the downside. So now your take profit is down here. Okay. So those are two instances for the sell. We want the sells at the top of the Keltner, and we want the buys at the bottom of the Keltner. It's very important that it comes outside of the channel. All right. Because that means we're probably, in that case, overbought or oversold in most instances. All right. So buy at the top. I'm sorry, buys at the bottom. All right. So let's go over and let's see if we can find a couple of examples here. And like I said, guys, if you have questions, please feel free to ask. Okay. But let's go to our chart, and then after we go to our chart, I actually took a Nash trade that actually played out from the buy side. Yes, I did. Okay. All right. So let me share this screen here. Hold on 1 second, guys. 1 second. Let's get this out the way here. All right. All right. Cool. Let's get that there. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and share this tab here. You guys should be able to see the chart now. Okay. Now, what I'm looking at here for NAS, okay, is a couple of things. Remember, we had the price came outside of the bottom of the Keltner. Okay, that's what we're looking for. So when I look at this, the first time I got in, it was here, right, on this candle. So price came out, right? And I believe I got stopped out on this wick right here. Yep, off of this candle. Okay, so that was a volatile candle during market open. But I re-entered the trade somewhere around here, I believe. And then I put my stop loss beneath this move. Okay. And so what we see here is, and I took profit up here. What we see here is price came outside of the Keltner. First of all, let's go back, right? What's our direction of the 200? This blue line, This blue line right here is our 200. Where are we going? To the upside. Okay, so the only thing I should be focused on is a buy. I should not be even considering sales right now. The only thing I should be focused on is a buy. The 200 is your GPS. It shows you where the market is trying to go. Okay, where the market is trying to go. So now that we know the direction, we have our directional bias. Where can I enter? Okay, so let's say we missed the crossover, because the crossover for NAS happened all the way down here. This was the crossover down here. So you can't, so there's multiple opportunities where you could have entered, but imagine missing this crossover and this whole move just happened like that, right? So it has to be other opportunities to get in. So the first opportunity I see is right here. Okay, price came outside of our Keltner channel, right? There's our channel right there. It's outside of the Keltner channel. You enter your buy here, you take it up to the next swing, take profit hit. Okay, price came outside of the Keltner channel right here. You enter your buy here, you take it up to the next swing, take profit hit. Okay, price came outside of the Keltner channel. I got stopped out, but I re-entered, right? And now I took profit at the next swing. Took profit all the way up here. Okay, so these are three instances here where you could have taken advantage of the market. Okay, so it's extremely important for you all to be able to identify those opportunities, because you don't have to, when the market runs like this, you're not going to get signals, because the crossover happened down here. This is the 23rd of July. We on the 29th of July. That's 6 days. So you mean for 6 days you just gonna wait? No, 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 no. We have to be able to still capitalize off of the market when it presents those opportunities. Okay, so that's NAS, and that's the upside. Now let's look at I think Euro or GBP was on a nice little downtrend. Yes, here we go. Okay, so Euro. Here we go. So first thing we're looking at, what is our 200 doing? It's coming down. Our 200 is coming down. Okay, so the crossover happened here, right? Here's our crossover. Let me see if I can circle that right here. There's our crossover. So if you missed the crossover, your next entry would have been right here. Nice little slope here. Take profit would have hit, because that's where you would have hit your take profit. Okay, so you have to be fully cognitive of what opportunities are presented to you. Remember, when we're looking for sales, we're looking for the price to pop out at the top of the Keltner. Okay, at the top of the Keltner. Great morning to everybody that's joined. Great morning. Okay, so Mary said, there's a lot going on, and you teach us how to see what's happening and to be patient and to take the best opportunity. Thank you for your awesome coaching. Up and up. That's right, coach. We must see the ops ourselves. That's right. That's right, Mary. Absolutely. Because at the end of the day, you guys are here to make money at will. And if you have the skill to do it, then the will be fulfilled. I don't even know how I just rhymed like that, but we gonna keep it moving. Okay, so that's Euro USD. So let's go take a look at some of the other pairs here. And I just want you guys to be able to see, it doesn't matter what pair you're trading. You could be trading stock, you could be trading Apple, Microsoft. I don't care what it is. If you can read the chart, you can trade anything. You just have to understand how the risk management works for different instruments. But if you can read the chart, you can literally trade anything. Okay? This is what I want you all to understand, and I want y'all to understand how empowering this is. It's having a tool to really go to any chart, take advantage of it. So let's go to USD CAD. We're just going to pick another pair here. Okay, USD CAD, beautiful slope. to the upside. Look at how the 20, and these crossovers are so powerful. Look at how the 20 crossed over the 200 here. Okay. Price literally glided all the way up. Okay. Nice move to the upside. So let's say you missed this move right here. You missed that cross. Your opportunity. Price came outside of the Keltner. Right here. You take it up to the swing. There you go. Take profit hit. Price came outside of the Keltner here. You take it up to the swing. There you go. Price take profit hit. And it's still moving up. Still moving up. Very, very simple concept if you're patient and you wait for your opportunity to get in. And again, we have certain pairs that we trade, guys, but you can literally trade whatever pair that presents the opportunity. Okay? That presents the opportunity. So let's walk through some other Forex pairs here. And let's see if we can find an opportunity while we're on here, and then we're going to go over to NAS. Okay, so let's go to AUD CAD. The first thing I'm identifying here is that the 200 is moving down. Okay. All right. I do not, now that I see the 200 is moving down, I do not see price outside of the Keltner. So because it's not there, we go to the next pair. AUDCHF. All right. So AUDCHF. Right now, price is above. We're moving up overall for the 200. So, when the price is moving up, we want it to be at the bottom of the Keltner. So that's not an opportunity to enter. Okay. Let's go to AUDJPY. Again, price is beneath the 200. Our overall detection here is we're moving up. But look at the price is moving up, right? But look at our 20. Our 20 is beneath the 200. We want that 20 to be above the 200. And we get that opportunity. When it's beneath the 200, now we're walking into different type of territory. Okay, so that's a key little point there that I just realized that needed to be expressed there. Okay, AUD All right, so AUD the 200 is moving sideways. So let's talk about this real quick, because when the 200 is moving sideways, there's still opportunity. Okay. But we want to see those key levels. So no matter what, even though we still have this strategy, you still have to highlight your key levels. If you're not putting your key levels on the chart, you're doing it all wrong. Okay. And that's why we have these zigzags here, because it makes it easy. I'm sorry, I picked the wrong one. It makes it easy for you to identify those key levels. Okay. So let's go ahead and drop a couple of levels here, and we can see what's going on. Okay. So let's go ahead, and we can see here. Price came up to this key level here. Let's pay attention to the behavior of this price. When price came here, price followed suit and it went down. Price and then it was outside of the Keltner, right? Now, price is here outside of the Keltner, and what is it doing? It's following suit. Okay, it follows suit. So if you get buys, if price is moving sideways, you get buys here at the bottom of the Keltner. Look at how significant these buys are here. Went up to the upside, price came down, went to the upside, price came down, went to the upside. So we see the multiple opportunities where price is moving sideways. Okay, you just have to be cognitive and make sure that that price is coming outside of the Keltner. All right, so that's AUD So let's go to CAD CHF. And I'm showing you literally this is applicable to any type of pair. Okay, any type of pair. So we can see here we got 200. Price came outside of the Keltner, and now it's approaching the take profit level right there. This pattern, this notion repeats itself over and over and over again. Okay, let's go back to this one here. All right, so I don't like the choppiness of these candles here, but this is an opportunity to get in for a buy. And then that it was also about the crossover too. You got to be careful with that too. All right, so let's see here. Okay, this is CHFJPY. Price came outside of the Keltner here. And look, take profit hit right there. So I just want you guys to see that there's so many opportunities for you guys to find trades. Euro AUD did the same thing. Came outside, took profit. Came outside the Keltner, took profit. Okay? Multiple opportunities here. Okay? So I'm going to walk through, kind of brush through to see if I see anything that we can get into right now together. Right now, I'm not seeing anything because it looks like a lot of them already made their move. So we will probably have to circle back a little later. But the concept remains the same. The concept remains the same. This is a great entry right here. Great entry. Keltner came outside strong. And look how it used the 200 as resistance. Look how it used the 200 as resistance. And price just came slamming down. Okay. So that's what I want you guys to start doing when you have some downtime, or you had some time to kind of look at the charts. I want you guys to look at the charts and see what opportunities you have. You do not have to wait until the crossover happens, because sometimes the crossover won't happen as often, especially when the market is trending. Okay? When that market is trending, you may get one once a week from a pair. Okay? So let's go to NAS and let's see what opportunities we have today for NAS. Okay. And great morning to everybody that's joined that came in a little bit later. Okay. All right. So Mary had a question. She said, once price comes outside of the channel, when is the best time to get in? All right. Great question, Mary. So a great time to get in from a bullish, let's use NAS as an example. We want to look for a couple of things. And we kind of covered this in training um like a couple of weeks ago. But this one, we want to look for some pin bars. Okay. Where especially from a bullish standpoint, you want to look for candles that look like this. Okay. Those pin bars. Because what's happening is that's when we see the wick, especially off the 200, like right here, we see some wicks off the 200. We can see that price is finding support now. Okay, so those pin bars are really, really good. That's one indication. Another indication is if we see an engulfing candle. Any type of bullish engulfing candle is a great setup. So we have a large candle here, and a previous candle is a bearish candle that looks something like this. Okay, so this big green candle engulfs this red candle, which tells us that the momentum could possibly push up. But those are the two things. Now, from a seller's perspective, we would have a pin bar that looks like this, right? It kind of looks like this. So it is at the top. The wick is now at the top of the candle. Okay. Or you can have a bearish engulfing candle where the candle is strong like this, and then we have the previous candle that's a bullish candle that's pretty small like that. Okay, so that tells us that the momentum is about to shift. The momentum is about to shift. So I just showed you a bullish example. I'm going to show you a bearish example here. Hold on, let's see. Okay, let me go to USD CAD. I think that one was a little bit or gold. Let me see. Okay, so here's one for gold, right? Here's a pin bar right here outside of the Keltner. What do we see? Price moves down. Okay. Here's another pin bar right here. Let me zoom in so you guys can see it because I want to make sure you guys can see it. Here's another pin bar right here outside of the Keltner. What happened? Price just dropped like a rock. Okay. Pin bar here, continue to drop. So those are the opportunities that you guys will see when you're trading these pairs. Okay. So I hope that answers your question, Mary. Oh yeah, no worries. No worries at all. No worries. Great question. Okay, so now let's go back and look at NAS and see what opportunities we have for today. Okay. And 1 second, guys, I'm going to place you guys on a brief hold. I'll be right back. 1 second. All right. Sorry about that, guys. So with NAS right now, we're clearly moving up. NAS has been creating all-time highs after all-time highs. I've actually been a little bit more satisfied with how NAS has been moving lately. And earlier this year, we was me and NAS was beefing, right? So um, when we look at the overall direction of the 200 on NAS, we can see that we're still trying to move up. So our directional bias is a buy today. Okay. I'm gonna have to drop a line. I'm gonna have to drop a key level up here real quick. Okay. All right. So considering where price is right now, we're in a tight spot, guys, for NAS. Okay. I'm on a 15-minute chart. For those of you all that may not be familiar with chart, I'm on a 15-minute chart. Okay. So with NAS, we have we're looking at two levels for our BPC. And if you don't know what a BPC is, I suggest you go back and look at some of my videos because I break this one down all the way to a T. But we know that stands for breakout, pullback, and continuation. Okay. So here we have our BPC, and we're looking for an entry for the BPC here at this $23,476 level. Okay. So we're looking for our breakout, pullback, continuation at this $23,476 level. Okay. So now that we know where our entry is, here's a couple of things that we're looking at because now we're far away from the 200. So a sell could happen. A sell could come down to the 200, find support, and then we take it back to the upside. That could very much happen. Okay. But we'll see because we're in uncharted territory now for NAS. All right, we're in uncharted territory. So let me actually let me drop a line here. Okay, so that's one of our levels that we have to respect. So with NAS, knowing that we're looking for the BPC, I want to see this type of price action here. Okay. So the thing I want to see is a bullish, and here's the thing, guys. BPCs are most relevant. You can still use them for, when you're trading on your own. But BPCs are most relevant during the market open because that's when we see strong volatile movement where we can actually see breakouts in the market. Okay, so that's why we focus on the BPCs during the market open because that's where the market typically breaks out. Okay, so we have our bullish candle here. Okay, there's our breakout. Here's our breakout candle right here. We want the body of the candle for BPCs. We want the body of the candle to break past our key level. Okay, we want the body of our candle to break out past the key level. So once we get that breakout, the next thing we're looking for is a pullback. a pullback. So we're waiting for that pullback to go here. Okay, there's our pullback. And that's typically a bearish candle. Now, it might not always be a bearish candle because sometimes what will happen is it'll pull back to this area and then it'll continue to go up. As long as it pulls back at or near our key level, we're in good shape. Okay, so we got our breakout here. Here's our breakout. Here's our pullback. Okay, now we need continuation. So with continuation, we're looking at something a little bit different, right? Continuation, we want that candle to preferably engulf or break past our pullback candle. Okay, so this is our pullback candle. Our pullback candle is the candle that gives us the signal if we should enter or not. Okay, so we would look for something more like something over here, right? This candle, this green candle, broke past or above this pullback candle, or it engulfed this pullback candle. So remember what I talked about earlier. When we see engulfing candles, typically, not always, but typically price follows suit and goes to the upside. Now, considering that we're in uncharted territory, we don't know how far this thing can move up today if it wants to do that. So we take into consideration how much was the price movement of NAS, right, during that time. Okay, so we're gonna aim for maybe like a 0.25. So how do we know that? We're gonna grab our measurement tool here, right? Let's say we enter somewhere here, so we take it up to about 0.25, which is about right there. That's our movement. Okay, about 0.25. So that's about 586 pips. Okay, so if we get that move, of course, that would be great. What I've been encouraging lately, in order for us to really move the needle, our account, is to risk anywhere from 0.5 to 1% of whatever your account is. Okay, 0.5 to 1%. That's the ultimate goal. If the opportunity presents itself, okay, cool, we'll get in. If not, then it is what it is. So we're about 7 minutes out until the market opens, and we're going to see what opportunities we get. Right now, we're still in between these two key levels here. Okay, so I don't really play the Keltner when the market opens, just because when the market opens, it can go in any direction it wants. So I let it kind of come to me in regards to that. Okay, so let's see what opportunities we're getting. So remember, before you get into any trade, you should already know how much you're risking for your trade. If you do not know how much you're risking for your trade before you enter, you're doing it wrong. Okay. Just as much as strategy and different tactics are important, so is risk management. Because you can win, but if you're not risking, if your risk management is not in the proper order, you'll start to see yourself kind of just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Right? Small risk, small reward. Big risk, big reward. That's just how the game that's just how the game plays, right? So 0.5 to 1% on your trade. For me, I'm probably going to risk for this trade 0.5 today. Okay, I'm gonna risk 0.5 today, and we'll see how it plays out. Okay, but you can determine how much you want to risk, but at least 0.5% of your overall account balance. So if you have $100,000 account, 1% is $1,000, and 0.5% is $500. Okay, so I'm really looking forward to us transitioning into the $100,000 and $200,000 accounts next week. I think we're at a point where we're ready to do that, right? So, and if you feel like you're not ready, that's fine too. Everybody's course and process is different, but that's where that trading psychology is really going to play a role, because when you come from a smaller account and then you scale to a larger account, you have to be able to um, still be disciplined, still use the same concepts that you had before, right? But at the same time, you want to make sure that, again, that risk management is in play. Okay, that's the main part right there. The risk management is in play. Okay, so let's see what opportunities we have for today with NAS. We're sitting here at 9:26, so we have about 3 minutes and 30 seconds left. Let me know in the chat. Let me know. Do you guys think we're going to get into a buy or a sell today? Last time we did this, Kelly said a sell and she was right. So let's see what you guys think today. Are we going to get into a buy or a sell? Let me know in the chat. What do you guys think? Let me know y'all here with me today. Okay, a buy or a sell. What do you think we're going to do today? And put it in the chat on whether you're on YouTube or Instagram, you can put it in the chat. A buy or a sell. Let me know. What are we looking like for today, y'all? A buy or a sell? What are we looking like? Yesterday was a no trade day for me. What about you, Coach? Yep, it sure was. I did not get in on the market open. I did not get in on the market open. So during the market open, we had a lot of whipsaw here. We had some wicks that came down to the downside. I had certain levels where I wanted price for possible entry, and it never crossed those barriers, right? So I think it was here and here where I was looking for a sell past this level and a buy past this level. It didn't break this level until let me see, later that night. It didn't break this level until then. So it was like in the midnight over the night, right? So no, I did not. I did not trade that yesterday, Mary. I did not. Okay, so Mary says a buy. Troy says a sell. All right, we got two different opinions here. What else? Who else thinks what y'all what does the rest of you guys think? So Mary says a buy, Troy says a sell. What do the rest of you guys think? What are we going to get into today? A buy or a sell? What do you guys think? Let me know what you think. Again, at the end of the day, regardless of what we believe, we always go off of the facts and the data and what the market is presenting to us. We don't try to predict, but we just have some fun. Which way do we think the market is going to go? Okay. Which way? Mike says a buy. Oh, okay. All right. Nice. So we got two buys and one sell. Buy after looking. Okay, okay, Troy, I got you. All right. All right. So we have a unanimous vote here today for buys. So let's see what happens. We have 45 seconds until the market opens. And let's see what we have for today. What do we have for today? Now, when the market gets closer to, I'm going to navigate to the 1 minute to look for our if it gets to that point. Okay, here we go. 20 seconds, 20 seconds, guys. Let's see what the market gives us today. Hopefully, we get some good movement. Now, we do have news at 10 o'clock. I meant to express that earlier. We have news at 10 a.m. today. JOLTS job openings. Okay, that's the news for today. All right, market is open. Let's see what we get for today. The buyer's trying to push up. Let's see. Still early on here. Okay. All right, so I'm going to the 1 minute now. We're getting close to my key level. Okay, so now what I'm looking for off the 1 minute is my BPC. I want the body of this candle to break past here. Okay, the body of the candle to break past here. Now, where do I want my stop loss? Let's see. I'll probably put my stop loss down here somewhere. I'm gonna move this down a little bit. Right beneath this level. So this 23,433 level is where I want my stop loss. All right, so we got our breakout candle, guys. Pay attention to how the body of that candle broke out. So now I'm getting prepared for a buy. So I'm pulling up my calculator. I click buy. Okay. Stop loss. I'm bringing that down to, let's see. Oh, there's our pullback. We got the wick to come down here. There's our pullback right there, guys. Okay, so let's see where our stop loss is. We're going to bring our stop loss right here. Okay. So I'm only want to risk about $25. So I'm at a 0.4 right now. That's not bad. Okay, so there's our pullback candle right here, 15 seconds. All right, here's our pullback because the wick came down to this key level here. Even though it's not red yet, the wick came down here and it stayed at or beneath the level. Let's see how it closes. All right, that's a good pullback candle right there, y'all. All right, so now we got to see if we're going to get some continuation. So we want price to break past this level right here. So let me show you. We want price to break past this level right here. Okay, if we don't break past that, then we're not touching it. Or at least I'm not. Okay, so I want price to break past this level right here. That's my indication. That's my signal to get in. Otherwise, I'm not touching it. Okay, I'm not touching it. Oh, we getting some strong volume to the downside. Hopefully price can hold around here and not come all the way down. Let's see. We always wait until the candle closes. You never chase those volatile movements. Gotta wait till it closes. Look at that support right there. Wow. Okay. All right, that's a good sign. Let's see if this next candle can break past our little threshold right here. And if so, where would I take profit be? Let me see. Let me measure this out. Let's say 0.25. Let's just say 0.2 actually. So 23,539 will be our take profit. I'm liking the way this candle is looking. Let's see if it can close above. Can it close above? We got 25 seconds left on this candle right here. My little line crooked, but can it close above, y'all? Let's see. My stop loss is at 23,426.87. Let's see what the bulls can do. Can they close above here? All right, I like it. Okay, I'm in a buy. I'm currently in a buy right now. All right, and I'm gonna break down the breakout pullback continuation in a minute. Let me just get this stop loss real quick. I'm in the take profit. So I'm gonna come down here to where it says edit. Right, just click this edit button here. And then I'm gonna put my take profit about right here. 536. We'll do 530. That's good. Yeah, 530. Okay, so we got our stop loss here. And we go to 536 here. Yep, there we go. Okay, so there's our stop loss there. And I'm sorry, our take profit. And then we're gonna let this thing play out and see what it does. All right, so now let's go ahead and zoom in and let's see what's happening here. Why did I get in? This is a beautiful BPC setup right here. Okay, let me just show you guys what I was looking at. So here's our breakout candle here. There's our breakout candle right there. Okay, the body of the candle broke past this key level. Okay, here's our pullback. This candle right here, this red candle. Here's our continuation right here. It broke past our pullback candle. Okay, once I saw that, that was where I entered, and we'll see if we can take it to the next level up. Okay, so we're just kind of monitoring the trade from here. All right, so let's see where we go. So now once I've entered the trade, I like to watch it from the 5 or the 15 minute. The 1 minute is too noisy. It'll have you kind of a little bit more emotional than you should be, right, for your trade. So I just watch it from the 5 or the 15 minute um chart. So I'm actually going to go to the 15-minute chart. Okay. So that's where we are, guys. We entered this one a little bit earlier today. So it's 9:36. Price kind of already made its decision pretty soon, which is good, which is what we like to see. And we moving now. We're moving. Very nice. Okay, so go ahead and monitor your trade from here, right? We can wrap this one up easy and fast today. And you don't have to wait all the way up here for your take profit. This is okay. It's really up to you on how you want to manage that. But this is where I'm putting mine. Um, so let's see how this thing does. Let's see if NAS can get to that level, and let's see how we play it out. Okay, so go ahead and monitor your trades. I'll catch you guys. Oh, Sylvester said a buy too. It looks like all of you guys are right today. Y'all on y'all game today. All right, so great job, everybody. Let's continue to build. Let's continue to push and continue to grow our accounts. We're gonna circle back again. Y'all know for everybody that's in the academy, we're back on at 8:45 in the private channel tomorrow, and we're gonna keep this thing going, guys. Keep it going. So great work. Happy Tuesday. Let's keep pushing. Let's keep working, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Make sure you like, subscribe. Go ahead and send this to a friend that could benefit from this information, and let's keep this thing moving. All right. Talk to y'all later. Peace.